Well, hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to my stream, and welcome to a different build. Working on this guy here. That's our Batman Batwing from the 1989 movie. Run the intro, we'll get going, okay? Okay, let's start off, alright guys? We got this brand new kit. Brand new, right? Really old kit, but we're gonna build it today. Well, I'm gonna spend a few days, but I just opened the box. I haven't even looked at the instructions yet. We're gonna go through this. Yeah, Batman. We're gonna open up the bags, go through all the parts in it, see what's involved in building this thing. Turn down my music just a little here. There we go. Okay, let's see here. We got a very, very old box. Very old box. I got this off of eBay, but it looks like everything's here, including the great big canopy on this thing, which doesn't look like it's really suffered anything over the years. It looks like it's pretty good. Except maybe, no, it looks good. Yeah, there's a little tiny little bit of scratches in there, but you know, the Batwing encounters a lot of stuff. Let's put this down, open our bags, get my scissors here, open up the bags, and we'll see what's involved with building the Batwing. Let's see here. Anything coming off the spruce? We got what looks like a little steering wheel, although it's not a wheel, and the cockpit, and a sprue with nothing on it. Okay. Fat sprues. Put this down. We'll trade these two. These look like upper and lower fuselage. Let's see here. So, of course, this was the movie with Michael Keaton as Batman, which some would argue is the better of the Batman movies. We've got our upper fuselage here. It's hard to tell. Oh, it's got really great detail. Look at it. It's got all that. You know what? There's nothing to go by. It's not a real thing, you know? To be honest, I don't even know if they made a real, I imagine they made a real prop for it. I was just going to say, maybe they didn't even make a real prop, but I'm sure they did. They had to show him flying in something. Of course, that was late 80s CGI, so, you know, this is the underneath where we got our landing gear here. And yeah, obviously these two halves are going to go together like this, something like that. It's kind of strange that this is going to be shown. And so we've got ejector pin here, mark here. This isn't as nice of a finish on the underside here as this is. So it's interesting how they have that. And we've got some kind of pins here. Maybe there's something that's going to go in there. I don't know. Okay, that's it. That's it for bags. 3 bags. I'll change the camera so you can see what I see. Let's put my scissors away. Let's have a look here. Okay. So, again, here's our top piece. And yeah, it looks like pretty decent detail. It's not bad. Can't really complain. We've got our great big sprue, whatever that was attached to at the factory. Nothing there. Okay. And then we've got the bottom. Again, similar detail, nothing really to, you know, shout out about or really complain about either. And again, this kind of looks like it's going to go together like this. Maybe this part's here, they go underneath the wings and then get hidden and then you don't see them. Yeah, probably great big wing going in there. Yeah, that's our two halves there. Okay, here's our cockpit. Nothing in the cockpit except two pedals. We got a, you know, a gas and a brake pedal. I don't know. And of course we got our little steering wheel that came off in the box there. It's or I'm gonna say control stick. It's not a steering wheel, it's not a car. Okay, let's look at this. Oh, take a look at our sprues here. We clearly have some landing gear going on here, and our wheels, landing gear bay doors. Yep. Looks like we got some guns and some rockets. It's got rockets, some sort. And then of course our guns. Those are. It looks like our Gatling gun. Yep. Okay. So that's that one. What's next? Next sprue looks like tail fins of some sort. And air brakes. Tail fins and air brakes. Yeah. That's those. Next sprue we've got, I guess, our display base. And of course you've got to have the detail going on our little stand, and then looks like maybe our dashboard and our pilot seat. Here's our ejector seat. That's got to be the least, almost the least detail I've seen on a pilot seat. Okay, that's that. We've got a Batman. We have a Batman. Got a Batman and his arms, and then I don't know what these are. No idea. I don't know what that is. Some kind of fin, stabilizer fin of some sort. I was surprised they don't show Batman on the box art. They don't show him sitting in the cockpit, so I was a little surprised he's in there. But hey, we've got him. Got clearly one great big wing that's going to go together like so. It's a crazy shaped wing, I'll tell you that much. I tell you what, yeah. So let's just do a little mock-up here. I want to do a little mock-up, since the only thing else left in the box as far as parts is this wing. Which of course we've got our great big sprue, but no parts on the sprue. That's going to go like this and like this. Okay, throw that out of the way. So this wing together. I almost don't need the instructions. There's one wing. Okay. I guess maybe one gun goes in there. And in this wing, which, funny enough, we've got a sprue attachment more than the others for some reason. Oh no, I'm willing to bet this one has the Gatling gun in it. And that's what that is all about. That's got to be what that's all about. Let's put this together. Got a little nub sticking Okay. There's almost the other wing aligned. We've got some nub cleanup to do, got a little bit of flashing to clean up, but that's not a big deal. This is an AMT kit after all, so yeah, flashing and nub, especially flashing. Like the pin doesn't even go in the hole there because we've got 2 pins. What the heck? Does that mean we've got like this, and then this goes like that, maybe, and then this goes like that? That could very well be. Okay. Let's get you lined up. She don't quite want to go together, but she, at the same time she does. Her pins line up and everything like that. She's just gonna take some clamping. But there's that. Okay, I don't know if this is the top or if this is the top. This could be the top. Yeah, this is the top. We've got our air brakes here and here. So then, let's see how big this bird's gonna be. Let's see. You gonna be a big bird or a little bird? There's no, although it looks like there's pins here to guide, there's no pegs. But if we line that up like this, we get a pretty good idea of how that's going to go in. And then this one, same thing. It looks like we got a lip here that kind of tucks in like this and lines it up. And there's a rough idea of how big our plane's going to be when she's assembled. What is that? I'm going to say 12.5 inches wide wingspan. That's not bad. It's a pretty good 48 scale. I don't know if it even mentions the scale on the box. Does it say what scale this thing is? 1/25th scale. I beg to differ. Oh yeah, I do see a Batman in there. He's kind of hiding, but he's in there. You can tell he's just a little bit airbrushed. Yeah, so there we go. That's a basic mock-up of what our Batwing is going to be like. Let's put these in there. Get those off to the side. What else we got in here? We've got a little clear part right there. Not sure what that's for. And attention modelers, subscribe to the all-new Blueprinter. Useless. Look at that. Star Trek 4. That's when this came out. Wow. And we've got decals. I guess the little yellow, now age-stained orange bat symbol is for Batman himself, and the rest are just generic little wings. So this is trademark 1990 DC Comics. 1990, guys. That's how old this thing is. Okay, let's put this aside. Let's see what is first in our setup. This is an airplane after all, so should we do the cockpit first? Look at that, the yellow stain. Wow. Some of these kits just crazy. Okay. You guys interested in knowing what they wrote up here about Batman? Batman, the master of anti-crime technology in Gotham City, produced the ultimate weapon to fight the denizens of doom, the unique, powerful Batwing jet. Shaped to resemble the bat symbol of the caped crusader, the Batwing incorporates advanced stealth technology with its shrouded jet exhaust, angled bat fins, and aerodynamic shape. Poised against a full moon, the Batwing strikes terror into the evil hearts of Gotham's criminals, causing them to scurry down dark alleys like rats seeking cover from the justice of Batman. Armed with twin machine guns in its forked nose, 4 rocket launchers, and a Gatling gun, the Batwing is a formidable fighting machine. Augmented by laser targeting devices, infrared sensors, onboard computing, and electronic countermeasure equipment, the Batwing has no equal in the crime world of Gotham City. Screaming out of the dark night, spewing deadly fire from its formidable weapons, the Batwing writes the final signature in the war against crime. How about that? Okay, so with that out of the way, let's see. I just got a great big fold-out sheet here. 4 steps. Nope, we've got a total of 7 steps. Total of 7 steps. Let's see if I can fold this into such a way. Hey, I was right. We're doing the cockpit first. Do the cockpit first. Let's build our Batman. Well, actually, let's put our pieces into the cockpit first, and then we'll build our Batman. How about that? Okay. So we got the cockpit bucket already. We need our instrument panel, our gun sight, our control yoke, and our seat. It's really kind of funny, you know, by today's airplane standards. Just the simplicity of the cockpit is really not advanced at all. Like, not in the least. Not in the least. Okay, I'm going to change my glasses and clean these up, and then we'll be back, okay? Okay, so our parts are all cleaned up. So the first thing we should do is glue our gun sight, I guess, together. And that's going to go like this, like so. No, that's opposite, that's backwards. They show it. Okay, so they show this like that, this like that, but they've got our... Oh, I guess I got it backwards. It's kind of weird. They've got the detail for, like, there's a button there and everything, but they show it like that. They show it facing this direction. And there's literally nothing on this side. That's got to be backwards, because that's going to be facing him. This is going to go on the seat like this. And that doesn't make sense at all. Does not make sense at all. To me, it should be, if anything, going like this. But that won't fit in there, which would mean you got to put it upside down, which puts a little divot at the top instead of at the bottom like that picture. So I don't know. I'm gonna hold off on that for a second. I'm gonna grab my Batman, because I have a feeling putting this in first, because I have this like this. If I do that and then try and put him in there, it's going to be hard to fit him in there. You know what I mean? So let me just quickly get him there, there, and his arms are, each arm is 2 pieces. Sorry. Okay, I'm just going to cut this off so that I reduce my sprue size to whatever this is. Okay, so he goes together. Oh no, his head doesn't line up. He's got a great big gap in his head. Yeah, of course, I'm gonna have to clamp it together. I'll have to clamp it together. Come on, Batman, you can hold it together. Let's get some glue on here. I'm gonna first glue the head, like so, and we'll just leave it like this. In fact, I'll put a clamp on him. Like that. And we'll keep him clamped for a little while and let that glue dry, and then I'll clamp his feet together because, well, we can't leave him like that. In the meantime, I can put his 2 arms together, and I could probably put his dashboard in. Oh, it's got some very, 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 very fine, faint detail on the dash. If I get it in the light, you can see it, but other than that, you can't see it at all. And of course, this control yoke is supposed to go in this spot, but we've got a flashing in there preventing it from going into the little square hole that it's supposed to go into. So I have to carve that hole. For the yoke. It's going to sit in there like that. Have to carve a little more. Let's try that. It's a little tighter fit. We'll put some glue on that. I don't like the fact that it's not actually going in a hole, it's just going in from the bottom and sitting there. That doesn't look very sturdy at all. But you know, at the same time, probably doesn't matter very much. What matters is if it's straight. So then this is going to go into this spot just like that. Sit like that. Which again might cause a problem when I got Batman in there. When I try to put him in, you know, and get his feet under there. There's a certain order of operations that's going to be necessary for this. So we'll leave that. I don't like the fact that we're doing this way, but it is what it is. It puts a zero detail in his face, whatever that's supposed to be. So we'll just leave that. Glue that guy in there. And there's his binoculars. Now we'll get his arms put together here. Let's trim off nubs. It had to be difficult to fly with, you know, those little fins on his arms sticking out, unless they were somehow retractable, but I don't think they were. Something tells me they were not retractable. So this part's going to go up under his armpit area and not really be seen, but leaving such a big nub on there might interfere with the way it fits. Get that lined up on there like that. Okay, there's one arm. Again, we'll get rid of this nub here. Like I said, I don't know if this will interfere with the way this arm fits in there, but we'll do that so that we don't have any issues tying them up. There we go. Alright, and that's his left arm. Now he literally has nothing to hold on to except maybe his steering column, or this his yoke, but I don't know. Okay, so just want to make sure I'm going to have to put his feet together and clamp those. Let's grab another clamp here. That ought to do it. Let's put some glue on them. All the way around the seam there. And through that foot. Alright, so he's clamped together. And so we gotta let him dry. There isn't really anything else we can do because I gotta let him dry and put him on the seat and put the seat in, and then we can deal with that. I don't even know what happened to my seat. Oh, my seat's in there. I want to put him on the seat first. See, it looks like there's supposed to be a joystick here or something, but they don't show it. There's a little notch right here. A man hard to catch live. Hello. Hi, Milas. I'm a big fan of Batman. Got all the comics from DC, Rebirth ongoing. More of a Punisher guy, but Batman's still strong second place. Yeah. Yeah, this one I'm actually building for a buddy of mine. He requested this, and so I am building this one for him. It's from the 1989 Batman movie. But, like I said, I've got to let him dry because he doesn't want to stay together. And it's kind of imperative that I get him installed in the seat before I put these other pieces on. But it is disappointing that there's a notch here, but there's nothing showing to put into that notch. At least not yet. Let's look at step number 2 here. Step number 2 is a totally different area of the plane. So it says here the plane may be assembled with the wheels up or down. Decide before assembly. Landing gear is not used for wheel version up or wheel up version. That makes sense. You don't normally need the landing gear if the wheels are up. So, do they show what you'd be doing if you have the wheels up? It does not appear that they show anything different as far as putting the landing gear up. No, so use the same pieces. This is disappointing. That clear piece is supposed to be a landing gear or a landing light, and I only have one in the box. I'm going to double check the box just in case it's hiding in the corner, but I don't think it is. And herein lies the problem with buying a kit from that was made in 1990 and has been opened. I only have one of these and I need two. It looks shiny, way too shiny. Well, he liked the paint choice because it is just plain black, right? There's nothing special about it. It's just black. You paint the whole thing black. There's nothing on it except for the little tiny rockets there. Yeah, I love their airbrushing job they did on there to show, hey, there's a bat symbol on his chest, but you can't tell any other details. He is holding a little stick in the picture here, and yet it doesn't ever tell us to install a stick at all. Maybe I'll make one. Take a piece of styrene and make a little joystick for him to hold on to, because that would make sense, other than, you know, his hands just sitting here holding on to nothing, literally nothing. If I just take a little piece of styrene and put it there, a little stick sticking up, why not, eh? I think I could do that and get that done. Okay, while I'm waiting for Batman to dry, I mean, it should not be so shiny. He's the Dark Knight, not Knight in shining armor. Yeah, exactly, right? It shouldn't be glossy, and it's not going to be. I mean, I would say the kit is molded in it's kind of a semi-gloss black. It's not super glossy, but at the same time, it should be. It deserves some paint, right? It deserves a paint job. And realistically, yes, it's going to need paint. What's unfortunate is we're going to have a big, one side is going to, unless I try to fabricate something to mimic, now I got to pull it out here with tweezers, try to mimic this piece, just might be screwed. Screwed. Now, I'm not very great at fabricating things. I have improved over the years, but I'm still not the best at it. But I can try to mimic this with some styrene. Freeze screenshot from movie are not like this. Yeah, it's actually been a long time since I've seen the Michael Bay Batman movie. Not Michael Bay, Michael Keaton. Not Michael Bay. Michael Bay was not Batman. This piece is going to go in here. Or is it? Yeah, it goes in there like that. And so I need to try and make something similar that kind of looks like this, in that similar shape. on that same angle. I can try. It's worth a shot, right? Michael Bay was not Batman yet. Yeah, right? Exactly. And I don't think there's enough explosions in the Batman movie for Michael Bay to want to do it. Not that Batman, anyway. Not in '89. So, yeah, that's where that's at. I got the one for this side, but not the other. Yeah, the plane in the end is going to be flat black. It's because I'm going to paint it. Yeah, but I've got a styrene strip here somewhere. Where's my styrene sticks? I have styrene sticks somewhere hiding. Here. We can try and give him a little joystick or a little control stick to grab onto here. Just a little something sticking up that he can grab with his hands. Doesn't have to be detailed, but you know, something. Just a little something. A little something. Yeah. And that's a perfect size. It just needs to... Let's just trim this off. Let's go with that big there, sure. And that can sit in there like that. Just do a little bit of... Do a little something to make it seem like more of a top of a stick, control stick, rather than just a square piece of styrene. Do just a little something to it. Okay. This loose seat out of here. There we go. He's going to have a little stick to grab onto now. You have vise? Do I have like a vise? You know, I mean like the vise that goes like clamps the things? You mean that kind of vise? I do, just not in my original, not in my immediate area, no. Yeah, I don't have one in my immediate area. I've got one out in the shop. Okay, so with that in, let's see if he's done sticking together. You gonna hold together there, little guy? Looks like it. Looks like he'll hold together. So now he can be glued to the seat, like so. Put the seat in its spot here for a sec, just kind of mock it up. Heat, plastic, and stretch. Ah, yeah. So he goes in there. Hey, his feet even reach the pedals. His feet touch the pedals. How about that? And then this arm goes way past that stick. What the fuck? Okay, bye-bye. His arm sits in there like this. So they're really, you know, the picture shows him holding onto the stick here, but there's obviously nothing there. Do I read comics? I haven't read comics in many years. So I'm guessing they want him to be holding on to his flight controls. Which just barely clear his legs. Of course, his hands barely hold on to it. Okay, so this is what we're doing. We're going to glue him down. Okay, get the seat glued in. Seat glued in, going from the bottom here. Seat glued in so I can stop fighting with it. I don't like the fact that it doesn't sit flush, so I'm going to clamp the seat back here. So move this up here. Yeah, I used to read comics, but you know, admittedly, I didn't read a lot. By the time I started really reading comics, I was like in my late teens, and I wanted to read comics like Lady Death and things like that. All those comics that had the women with huge boobs in them. But that being said, I did grow up watching Batman the Animated Series, and I really liked that one, and that's the series that I really liked a lot, and that's how I got into Batman myself, was watching that Batman the Animated Series. To clear up some flashing on here, his cowl should not look like two-piece. This cowl should at least look like it's one piece. So let's scrape away a little bit of this flashing on here and make it seem like, pretend it's one piece, without scraping off his ears, because that would be really unfortunate. It looks like he's already almost lost one of his ears. And that would be sad. That would be sad. I am tempted to primer him in gray instead of black, because I need to paint his face there. Okay, that's looking a little better. Still not super happy with the way his cowl goes over his shoulder there. I want it to look like one piece here. Go, and just to clean up in there too. Okay, he's looking good enough. this little gap that's in there. Not going to see that when he's down in the seat, so don't have to worry about that. I started buying it because there was, I buy comics for with Sexy Girl Gun Honey. Recommended by Ed Brewster on the front, but stayed for the tits. Yeah. Okay, so our seat is in. Let's get him in there. There's not a lot of contact points, so I'm just going to spread some glue down on the seat and drop him in there. And where his butt goes. And his feet do touch, so I'm going to put a couple of dabs there on the pedals where he can drop in here and live forever in his new little airplane home. Okay, so with that in, we can put in our dash like so. What's my time? I got 10 minutes. There's that. Now with those in, we can put his arms on. Now that I know he's not grabbing onto a flight stick like I would have assumed. I would have assumed he's holding onto a flight stick, but he's, you know, he's a conscientious driver. He's 2 hands on the steering wheel. But his little fin things make it difficult to get him in there properly. I want to cut these off. I'm going to trim them off. Sorry, Batman. But you should have made those more flexible. And see, doing that, it's still pretty tight. Even doing that, to hold him in properly. The way they have his hand molded, and let's see, there's a guy that's a specialist in drawing women, J. Scott Campbell. Ever heard of him? No, I have not. The name doesn't sound familiar. This is proving to be a lot more difficult than it should be. To just simply put an arm on with the steering wheel, but it's because they have him molded like the way they have his arm molded. It doesn't want to grip on the steering wheel properly. his hand almost needs to be positioned more like this, which of course you can't do. I could carve out the bottom of his hand here. Try that. Give that a little bit more of an angle without cutting too much away. But that might be the trick to getting it to sit properly. Pretty typical, you know, it's an old 1990 AMT kit, not designed off of any real thing. Okay, let's get some glue on him so it'll kind of sit where he's supposed to. There we go. There we go. One arm in. I'm going to do the same thing with this arm and trim off his little pointy things. And this hand does the same thing, so I'm going to trim off, carve out the bottom of his palm here a little bit. Simply because it doesn't quite, just the angle is kind of all wrong. That's basically it. The angle is kind of all wrong. That's kind of the best I can get it. Like it to come back a little bit and angle a little more, but I'm restricted in my space. There's not much I can do. That's about the best I can get them, is that. And still we got this mystery notch back here. Don't know what it's for. They don't show it in the diagram, but that's him there. That's our Batman, unpainted, sitting in a seat. How 2026 treating you? So far so good. You know, it is still only what, the 10th today? 10 days into 2026. I can't complain. Can't complain. There we go. Cockpit, you know, assembled. Only took an hour. Something like that anyway. And I don't have his little viewfinder thing in yet. That's got to go in here on the seat like this and look really stupid on his face. Sits like that, these things right in front of his eyes. That looks ridiculous. I have to say, that looks dumb. But that was 1990, and that was advanced technology then. So, yeah, that's what it was. I will put that in later because, well, he needs to have a little paint done on him. I want to put a little bit of putty on the crease on his arm here and fix that up because it's not lining up quite right. But now that I've got his arms in there, I need to let that dry. Step 2 is dealing with the lower fuselage, which is this piece here, but they have it like this. And so for some reason we've got this piece. Oh, it's for the shears. He's got great big scissors. That's what those things are. Let me grab those. We'll get the scissors put on, and then I gotta go. We'll put our scissors on, or as they call the shears. You know, it's the one thing gimmick that they've got to do in the show, and to, you know, what do they call that? Plot armor. That's it. So this guy here goes like this, and this one goes like this, and I guess it just goes like so. And they go together. Do they go together, or does it go on top? It's really hard to tell. They kind of do fit together. I mean, this basically is a toy, right? To say the least. And then it goes through here. It goes in like that. And then this thing gets glued on top. Like so. This gets glued on top. I can get it lined up. Is it lined up? There, it's lined up now. It was. There we go. So that's lined up, and there's our shears, and they're supposed to be able to slide in and out and open up and close, but they're not lining up like that. So yeah, they slide in and out. How far back do they go? They go all the way back to there. So you can really tuck them in all the way and then never get them out again, which would be a shame. But yeah, you put them in all the way, and yeah, without tweezers you're not getting them out of there. But if I can just kind of do a little bit of work on this, because it feels like I've got a parting seam. Let's see, yeah, he was, let's see, no new taxes, got a bunch. Yeah, he was raised like this just for a second in the movie. It's a missile targeting display. Yeah, right? When he was shooting Joker's parade. Oh, yes, yes. It's funny how they do that in the movie. He's got to do this one thing. Let's do this one thing, make it so that he can do this. Show this one gimmick for one moment, and that's it. And other than that, it's useless. I keep dropping it because it's trying to tell me that's enough. Let's see how this fits now. It's much more eager to be on par and stay straight. So if I put that in there like this, what I'd like to do is use a little bit of grease to make that slide easy. So I'm going to grab, where is my stuff? Where's my stuff? I thought I had some up here. Somewhere. Give me a second here. I know I have some grease. Yes, I know I have JB Weld too. Right there. Okay, I haven't had to use this in a long time since I was doing a tank build, and the turret was so tight it wouldn't turn. This has been sitting there. I've got some synthetic grease. So squeeze just a little bit out and put it on that channel there. And I want to get it in there, in the actual channel. So I'm going to use a brush. Just take that off my finger. Kind of paint in there a little bit. I don't want a whole lot. I don't want it to be greasy. But where did I put that lid? Where'd my lid go? Where'd the top go? There it is. This guy here. I want to have some in there. This is just like painting, except I'm using grease. Here we go. That should be more than enough to give it just a little bit of lubrication and just to help it slide and not get stuck at any time. So again, this went in this direction. Slide that down there. Drop that in. And then we're going to glue these 4 points. And I'm going to use this glue. Let's just put him right about there so he stays level. And I don't accidentally glue it. Just I'm going to glue it on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line those up. There we go. All right. And that's that. So that slides nice and easy now. No problem. So I'm going to put a clamp on that. I'll put 2. 1 on each side. Just to hold it down. And we'll let that cure. And with that, I gotta get going. Excuse me. So with that, we'll have to leave it and let my glue dry before I can really do much else with it. And I've kind of run out of time and I gotta get going. Excuse me, frog in my throat suddenly. I would invite you, if you haven't already checked it out, check out the description box below and you'll see some links to my other things like my Twitch and my YouTube and my Instagram, my X channels. Every time I finish a build, I take a bunch of pictures of it and I upload it to my Instagram so you can take a look at those and see all the stuff I've done in the past. Like I said, I gotta get going. So I guess with that, we'll see you all in the next one.